Hi, Soul family.
Hello, everyone.
Today's a very special day while we wait for you guys to come on. A quick story is that we were just banned on Instagram from going live because of our video where we used the word Christ consciousness. We put a video up of our Christ consciousness activation from our retreat last year. And Instagram said this is false prophecy or this is something. And so when they are now targeting the spiritual people, you know that the light is winning and the light is just blazing forward. Back in the day, they were after nutritionists. Hey, Shell. They were after all like the people in the healthcare industry. And now they're coming after spirituality because this is their last defense. Hi, Raphael. Vinayak, nice to see you.
So good to see all of our regulars
Soul
here.
family, Janos is here.
And hello to our TikTok family.
Yes, our first TikTok live. Okay, guys, TikTok guys, if you love us, you gotta show us a bit more love and help us crack the TikTok code because we don't know how to go viral on TikTok, even though our videos are going viral on Instagram, Facebook, and all of that. So anyway, for the time being, we're gonna be going live on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube because our Instagram has blocked us from going live till June 6th because we said we're bringing Christ consciousness and all these frequencies to Earth. How are you guys?
Christ consciousness is the taboo word now.
What the hell? Hi, Rosalie.
Better not say Christ consciousness, you'll get yourself banned.
So get ready for the next hour and a half, maybe hour and 15 minutes to just chill with us. Hey, Ben. Merlin, happy birthday to Merlin, everybody. He booked his flights to Tulum today, so it's a big day for him. Merlin works with us. He's in our video editing team, been with us 4 years now. So, okay, we have a lot to cover today. We need about an hour and 15 minutes. It's going to be super chill. It's one of those yin videos. And guess who today's video is for? It's for those of you who are totally into the Ascension. It's for those of you who are like, you can't get enough Ascension codes, Christed codes, mastery codes. You guys are like just ready to pop. And somehow you've hit that glass ceiling. You guys are in for a treat. Or at least that's our intention. Hi, Saleya. We're seeing all our regulars coming in. So in this download, we literally feel like we have story upon story upon story, which is why Siman is quiet. He's like, you lead, I have no idea.
This is such a big download. We were in a daze for 3 days trying to figure out how do we even deliver this message.
You know,
this
it's
is
so
going to be
interesting.
huge for many of you guys.
Like, it's so funny. Galactic videos, we can just dish out with no thinking. We're like, oh yeah, easy. This is such a simple video, but it took us 3 days to decode this download because of how multidimensional it is and how simple it is.
It's simple to say,
It's
but
so simple.
Extremely, it requires a lot of mastery
Yes.
and navigation in embodying these principles we're about to
Yes,
tell you.
yes.
I just wanted to reiterate what EldoRa said in the beginning. Our message today is for the serious students of the Ascension who are dedicated to the path of their mastery, but most of all, you're dedicated to shedding the spotlight on your own ego. Because today we're going to take a deep dive into ego, and we're being shown that many Ascension students are like ready to pop, they're ready for the next stage of lessons. And if we were shown that there's a gaping hole, that if we don't cover this part of the ego curriculum, that many people can go into decades worth of dead ends or pitfalls that we could easily avoid with these teachings. So our intention is full of pure, unconditional love, just to share everything that we've learned in our path of mastery over the last decade or so, and also wanted to reiterate who we are. EldoRa and I are Master Ascension teachers. We've been trained directly by the angelic realms. Our main guide is Metatron. We have many guides. We have a pantheon of guides. We work with a lot of guides from Lyra, from Series B, the Egyptian pantheon of gods and goddesses, Thoth, Isis, Sekhmet.
Yeshua, Mother Mary,
We've been,
Isis.
over the past 10 years, having such profound magical direct experiences, being guided and taught by these mighty beings who have once lived on Earth eons ago, and they have mastered all of the human lessons, and they have overcome the realm of duality consciousness, and they've made the jump in consciousness. And what these guides have been teaching us is the whole curriculum from A to Z. And one of our main soul's mission on Earth is to share all the teachings that allowed us to become masters of our ego and to channel the God within, to channel the divine within by stepping aside and becoming a witness. to our own lives. And by expressing the mastery of God, which we call Christ consciousness, by expressing the mastery of the divine seed that exists within every single one of us, and we believe humans are not the end product. Humans are just a being in transition. The whole human race is not the end product. The whole human race is a caterpillar who doesn't even know that they're going through a metamorphosis. And we believe that the final product that we're about to become after we all collectively and individually take this leap in consciousness, the final being that we become will be far greater than what we call human. It will be the Adam Kadmon. It will be the master within that has such profound wisdom and has such profound abilities that your own abilities will baffle you. So stay put.
I love that. Whew, where do we even begin? Where do we begin? Okay, so there's a few stories embedded within a few stories. So let's recap. In the last video, we shared with you guys a very powerful download we received, that a tsunami of light, a huge tidal wave of light is very fast approaching Earth. This was a direct vision we were both shown. And we were shown that it's approaching very fast. We weren't given any time, but when we looked into the energy of it, it felt like any time this year to early next year. So we're thinking October to April. Like that's the period we're seeing just energetically. It's coming very, very fast. And we left it at that. It was a very powerful download. It's on all on our channels. I think we called it the Solar Flash prophecy or something like that. It's a very powerful video. Watch it. And so today is the continuation of that, because we were shown, and this is the download Siman and I are talking about that left us speechless for the last 4 days, because we had a really hard time decoding it because it left us in a state of numbness. When we got this download, we were like, holy shit. So this is basically the download that we were shown. Where do we start? Okay. So they're saying that, first of all, explain to your audience where we are now, to give you a vantage point of where our journey has led us and where perhaps your journey is leading you. We've come to a point after 11 years on the spiritual journey. Siman and I met 11 years ago. It activated a deep soul remembrance, a deep soul contract that we are meant to do work together. And today, 11 years later, that back then we were fully asleep, we were unconscious, unactivated, just madly in love. That's the only thing that's still the same. But we are no longer that person that, when we met 11 years, we're completely different people. We've reached a stage right now on Earth that not many people have reached. What I mean by that is a complete end of all inner and outer turmoil, an explosion of our inner joy, an explosion, a true explosion of our heart frequency that has just become a force field of its own, that now, because both of us are in that unified, powerful heart field explosion area, when we come together, Siman and I, as co-creators, or when we come together in our sacred tantric light body activations, this heart field creates a Markaba field so powerful that our very act of, let's say, love making, that's called love making on this planet, becomes an act of service for the planet. It becomes an act of prayer for the planet, because we've activated something within ourselves that when we both lock in, whether heart to heart or any chakras lock in, and because they're both in the crystalline state, something major is happening. This sounds very woo-woo, but because we're talking to our Ascension students, I'm going to keep it at the frequency. And I want you all to know, as you're listening to this today, that Earth is designed to keep us stuck in illusions and distortions, and this is the very subject we're going to go deep into today. So when you listen to this video, I want you to have a broadened sense of perspective that I am susceptible to my ego tricking me into my comfort zone of losing interest in this video, or falling asleep in this video, or judging something EldoRa did or Siman did so I can stay in my judgments. These are the very deceptions we are going to talk about today. What else? Siman and I, we've left our matrix life completely. We've left our 9-to-5 jobs. He was a computer programmer. I was a franchise owner. We made good money, but pretty much 3D people. And this is where a lot of people are. Right now, a lot of you are in that part where you have made it in life. You have cracked your abundance. You've cracked your love. Let's say you're in a good relationship. Your children respect you. And all of this has become your comfort zone. And we're going to go very deep in today's video.
And I also wanted to add that EldoRa and I, our lives have been dedicated to exiting the matrix within and without. And this is what we're going to go into in this video. Many people right now are lulled in a state of comfort zone where they think they've made it in life. But even though you may be successful in some things like your career or your relationship, if you're still stuck in the matrix of the mind, if you're still stuck in the matrix of your own limitations, and if you're still somehow dependent on the system of slavery that exists around us to earn your sustenance, then you haven't made it in life at all. So we actually got a diagram to explain this concept to you guys. So I want to show this first. This diagram shows on the top is a sun. It represents the universal truth. And below is a human. So in the heart of the human, we see that dark triangle. This is a bad drawing. It looks like a skirt. It's not meant to be a skirt. This was just something I came up with 5 minutes before, but I hope it explains the concept correctly. So this particular dark triangle is representing the ego mirror that most of us are vibrating in. So when source light comes in through your crown chakra, we get downloads from the sun, we get downloads from the great central sun. They all come into the prism of the ego, and the ego misinterprets pure universal truths and refracts the light into 7 different rays. That's what looks like the skirt. So the pure light comes in, goes through the prism of the ego, and refracts into 7 different rays. And these rays are representative of your stories, your judgments, your projections on others, you avoiding your own curriculum, you looking at others as tainted without doing your own homework, you neglecting to self-reflect on where you're projecting your wounds on others rather than taking ownership for them, where you're using excuses for staying small rather than pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. So this is the tainted lens. The ego is the tainted lens that refracts pure source consciousness and turns them into our ego stories, and that keeps us into endless loops of misery. Either it'll keep you in attracting relationships that don't fulfill your soul, or they'll keep you in endless dead-end jobs, or they'll keep you just fighting for survival and feeling like you're never good enough. So ego is everything that you want to get rid of, and this is the curriculum we're beginning now.
And you know, it's so funny. Ego is not an easy subject to teach.
Nor to learn.
Ego is a very complex mechanism. In fact, we are time-coded and soul-contracted to teach you guys the very lessons that Siman and I have learned over the last 10 years, because our teachings are literally time-coded. So for example, we're not yet teaching tantric light body activations because our audience is not ready for those teachings yet. We have not been teaching advanced ego lessons because our audience has not been ready for our lessons yet. The download that we got that left us dazed literally showed us, this was the download. It showed us about 100 or so of our core audience, like our astute students of the Ascension. They're in all our containers. They're in Healers Academy, they're in NEMS, our mystery school, which is a New Earth mystery school. Many of them are coming to House of Ra, which is our Ascension Festival happening. These were the very people we were shown. So the front of the line. And one by one, we were shown that because there is such a big gap in the curriculum that we have shared or they have received from anyone on earth, there's a gap in the curriculum, and that unless and until we bridge this gap, one by one, we saw every single one of you falling off. And that actually put us in a bit of shock. Until now, we had more of this attitude of, oh, we're just going to teach, and whoever has to stay will stay, whoever has to leave will leave. It's not our problem. It's the higher self. But now the guides are readjusting us to say that now people are being trained for the first wave of the Ascension. The first wave of the Ascension is a cosmic event. It's not an event that EldoRa Siman or Gabriela or Ben or Susan or Raphael are just going through. It's far bigger than our individual journey. They're saying this is a cosmic event. It's a cosmic event that is being overseen by many planetary and galactic councils of light. Many major councils of light and angelic beings are part of what happens on Earth, because by divine decree of Prime Creator, Earth is going through her ascension, her rebirth, her metamorphosis. And with her, after 25,000 years, so are we, so is humanity. Now, why the first wave of ascension is so important right now, and why this whole download that we got on Saturday was completely around this topic, is because if we don't prepare you for what we came here to do, if we don't prepare you and give you and share with you all the Christed codes that we have received over the past 11 years from the guides, from the angels, from the ascended masters, that helped us exit the matrix vibrationally and physically, that helped us activate our... We truly believe we're the happiest people on planet Earth. Siman and I live by this. We feel we have attained what very, very few have. We feel we're the most lucky, most blessed, happiest, most free people on the planet. And why is that? Because we've harmonized not just our abundance, not just our love, not just our power, not just our divine mission, but we've acclimatized and activated all of it. And we've jumped up octaves above light workers, octaves above ourselves just 2 years ago. And our guides are saying it's now ready for us to impart these teachings to you, because many of you are part of the first wave of ascension, so for the next 3 to 5 years, your curriculum is everything we have learned in the last 7 to 10 years, but on a compressed, accelerated scale.
Yeah. And I also wanted to reiterate, what will happen if you ignore these teachings? Or what will happen if you just listen to these teachings with the filter of your own invisible ego and think, oh, I've already mastered this, I don't need, this isn't for me, this is for the less advanced students than me. The best of the best so far have reached the glass ceiling. And that's what we're here to address. There is a glass ceiling that most light workers will reach, and they won't even know they've reached the glass ceiling because they have never even seen a precedent higher than that glass ceiling being set on Earth. Now, what sets us apart is that I was born with a lot of my mastery lessons already completed in the higher dimensions. I was born, and my human that was born is not the same person you're looking at right now. I was born for one purpose alone. I was born to transmit the higher dimensional teachings of all the universal initiations that I have completed over the last 25,000 years. And then as a walk-in from spirit, a higher source of my spirit walked in and merged with me in 2017. And with that, it led to immense growth, immense explosion, and immense remembrance of these higher level teachings that has left both of us in a daze, and almost like it took us a couple of years just to believe what was happening to us.
Because of how fast we kept jumping.
How fast we evolved, and the kind of codes that came through us, we're now even on a human level convinced that it's only possible by a divine miracle. So we, because of our immense gratitude for the miracle that has occurred within us, and this is such an immense miracle that it needs to be shared with the rest of humanity. So now we're really here to say, you guys, there is a huge curriculum ahead of humanity that you're not even aware of. And if you ignore these teachings, and if you allow your ego to still keep you in this lull, then there is no other vortex on earth that I know of that can take you through that last few stages, because that precedent has not been set.
Yes.
It's only been set in ancient times by ancient masters. But in the current times, we need leaders who have embodied these teachings. And we've dedicated our lives to purify our souls, purify our hearts, and we've dedicated our lives to our why. And our why is to serve humanity and go all the way with this ascension. Everything else, when it comes to business, when it comes to our personal life, is secondary. Money is unlimited for us. So our why is very clear. We are here to take ascension of humanity all the way.
And that is our soul contract.
We are here to take humanity through their ascension all the way from A to Z, and share all the breadcrumbs and the codes that have been shared with us over the last few years.
And the angels said that is our soul contract with them.
100%.
So our soul contract with the angelic team is to learn from them and then teach you guys everything we've learned, because you've not yet activated that level of guidance. You've not yet activated that level of connection to the higher realms, and that is our very vortex. That's our very purpose. Okay, so now let's get into the analogy that we were shown. Okay, so now I want you to just sit back and allow your energy field to settle, because now we start going deep. And these are very complex teachings, so I'm going to go slow, so is Siman. I want you to just think for a moment on what you focus on in your daily lives. Like, what does your life consist of? What is taking up 90% of your attention? Is it your children? Is it your job? Is it your dog, cat? Is it social media, like mindlessly browsing social media? Is it friendships, the need for friendships, constant friendships, like to fill your void? Is it the need for relationships? What we were shown in this analogy, and this is a deep analogy, very deep and very unconventional, what we were shown is many people have built this illusion around themselves where they feel really good that they've made it. They get gratification that they've raised good children. They get gratification that they have a nice house with a white picket fence. They've, got a nice house, a mortgage, everything is settled. They have a nice job. Their partner has a good job. They're happy, not as happy as they'd like to be, but they're fine. They're not complaining. And they feel that they've cracked the code. They feel like, okay, we're better off than most humans. We're fine. Now, okay, so hold that thought for a moment. So first we were given this analogy of 100 of our core students, like I shared in the beginning, dropping off one by one because there was this huge gap in the Ascension curriculum, and that many of you are going to start reaching a glass ceiling if we don't give you the codes to bridge that gap. And there's very few teachers on the planet who have these codes, which is why the guides are reminding us now it's time to get to work, because now our very curriculum, soul contracted with the angelic realm, is to give you the teachings of the ego. Okay, so
and these are advanced level mastery teachings. These are some of the teachings you don't even get in high level containers. So for everyone, you may not get the depth of these teachings depending on how open you are in your consciousness to receive these codes. But every single one of them, if you open your heart and listen and apply these teachings, then it'll be like a huge jump in evolution no matter where you are in your consciousness.
So what I was shown in this analogy was very unconventional. I was shown the release, something very mainstream. What's happening in the mainstream news? We don't even watch news, but we're aware that something major is happening in the mainstream news. What's happening right now is that the Epstein Files are being released by the FBI, who now, under the directive of Mr. T, has appointed, what's his name? Kash Patel, who is now one of the heads of the FBI, who's working under Mr. T. And now he's revealing to the public, they are disclosing all the Epstein files. Many of you may be aware of this, some of you may not be. We've all been in the know for a few years now that Epstein Island is basically one of the biggest sex trafficking scandals in the history of planet Earth. And many major celebrities, most of the major names were part of these logs where they've been traveling back and forth to Epstein Island under, what's his name, Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah.
Where there's all kinds of extremely bad, horrific, satanic stuff going on because they are all part of the deep state cabal, demonic worship, satanic ritual kind of, the opposite of the Christed ones. They're holding the negative light. They are funding the shadow government. They are the cabal, whatever you call them. So right now what's happening, we all know that we're in the age of disclosure. We know that word. It's a word that's thrown around very loosely. Disclosure, first contact, oh wow, the Great Awakening. But guys, it is so freaking real. And this is the analogy that I was shown. And this is so bizarre that my guides would show it to me like this. They said right now Epstein, so right now Epstein is basically revealing to the earth all the corruption. These Epstein files are being revealed, and all the corruption that's been going on under our very noses by major people like Oprah Winfrey, Ellen DeGeneres. Who else? Like Tom Hanks, a big one. Lady Gaga.
Barack
Obama, Hillary.
Biden.
Bush. Who else? There's tons, like Jay-Z. Everybody, like all these major people.
This is just the tip of the iceberg.
This is just
it's
Will Smith.
Huge.
All our favorite. Mother Teresa. Like Mother Teresa was not even a female. She was... It goes deep. And for those of you who are already starting to say, whoa, I don't believe this.
I don't think Mother Teresa was on that list, but she's involved in the trafficking rings.
So basically, all this corruption is coming out into the public eye. This is what's happening right now. TikTok is blowing up right now. There's major disclosure happening right now because people need to know the truth to then see what's ahead of them, how much they've been lied to.
Even the scare of the war in the news recently is to create a distraction against the Epstein list.
So what I was shown is that this whole thing is, this Epstein, this whole thing happening with Epstein, can you turn on the AC for a moment?
Yeah.
Is to expose the corruption, correct, in the planet. But at the same time, what they're doing is they're causing a distraction, and in the media, they're not showing the Epstein stuff. They're shit scared that that's what's going to be seen by the public, but instead what they're doing is they're blasting into the public all kinds of fear mongering, saying World War III is about to happen, China is going to go into World War III, and European countries are going to go in. So everybody is in the state of like, oh shit, what do we look at? Who cares about the Epstein Files? Let's focus on the war. So what they said, and on this Epstein list is celebrities, bankers, CEOs, Hollywood superstars, major people. So what's happening is when this corruption is revealed, what do you think is going to happen? The crowd will be furious, and it's going to reveal a level of deception never revealed on planet Earth. And then the trials will begin, court trials will begin, and all of planet Earth is going to be shown how we've been lied and kept under control and paid taxes against our will. And all of this is going to prepare us energetically to welcome the galactics for first contact. This is the very premise of what's going on. So on the mainstream, this is going on. On the inside ascension scale, we're being prepared for first contact, but this is the download that we got. What they're saying is, they showed us one of the hermetic principles of thought. As within, so without. They said, think of this deep hermetic principle, as within, so without. Whatever is happening in the macro world is a reflection of what's happening in your micro world. And what they said is, the deception, these were word to word, I rewrote this down. The deception outside of you is being revealed, and so is the deception inside of you. The deception inside of you is now being revealed to you, and this might be one of the first videos you see where that very deception is being revealed to you, being highlighted to you, of how your ego is keeping you in a complete and utter state of deception, because it does not want you to focus on the million other things, and it wants you to keep you stuck in this familiarity that you are now being asked to crack out of, because you can do it. You're soul contracted, you're time coded to do it. And what's happening is that as the corruption in the world is being revealed, so is the corruption, so is the deception, so are all the lies you tell yourself from the inside. And what they said was, you are your biggest deception. I just want you to absorb this for a moment. What if I said to you, you are your biggest deception? Just tune into the frequency of that, if that resonates as truth or false. You are your biggest deception. You have beliefs and programs that you have accepted at such a deep level that they are keeping you in a box of deception under veils of illusion, and they are literally preventing you from connecting to your higher self. Now, Siman, what I would love to do, even though we were not planning to talk about this, it's coming through. Let's get into one of the most profound experiences Siman and I had with Prime Creator a few days ago. This is so hard to talk about because I will tell you some of my resistances that came up. So you know how whatever we go through, we're the first wavers, and then we teach you guys, and then you guys are the first wavers in your category, and then you then become the leaders for the next round of first wavers. So Siman and I right now are being groomed. Okay, this is going to sound crazy. I'm going to say it as it is. Siman and I are being groomed to receive Prime Creator and to step out of our way and to channel Prime Creator. There might be other people on earth being prepared, we don't know, but at the level that we are, we're the only two that we're aware of. And and for those of you who are like, oh yeah, that's me too, this video is for you, because chances are that's not you too, and you're going to understand why. And this is the very premise of this video. I'll explain in a second. So what's happening is, I'm being shown all the areas where I still have doubt, where I will not step aside and let Prime Creator come in. One of the biggest doubts that I had that was shown to me was, all of us light workers have this in our fundamental core, and we're going to have a lot more deep discussions on this when you start coming into our live events, because I feel this is the kind of conversation that's going to activate the fuck out of you. What am I talking about? And Siman, you want to go in?
Yeah, I just want to say...
This is such a deep concept.
Okay, so humanity is going through a process of ascension right now, and we say that a lot, but we rarely explain what that actually means. To go through a spiritual evolution means to identify all aspects of your ego and harmonize them in such a beautiful way so that the white light coming in, the universal truth that is coming in as God's wisdom needs a vessel, needs a human vessel to operate through. And this is the training, this is the advanced level training that EldoRa and I are going through.
Let's pause on that.
Yeah.
Because I think they got it, but I want to go deeper.
Yeah.
Now, when we say that, it sounds very surface level. Oh yeah, God's wisdom coming through. But it's not that, guys. What's happening to us is blowing our minds. It's actually, I've spent the last 4 days in complete numbness absorbing the enormity of what's happening with us. So let me explain it to you, because this is going to happen to you as well if you choose. Prime Creator is seeing, are we ready to completely humble our egos? Siman and I have been humbling our egos for the past 10 years, 11 years. We're complete students of the ego, and we're also master teachers of the ego because of that. We have the keys of the ego because we are such humble students of the ego. And our soul contract is to teach you guys all the codes of the ego, which have just started now, the advanced level curriculum. So what's happening for me is I had this level of doubt saying, whoa, everything in me says this higher authority is not allowed to come in and tell me what I need to do.
Yes, that's a big block.
This is what I am going through right now. This higher authority wants to come in and says, I don't need you, EldoRa. But right now, Prime Creator, this is Prime Creator talking to us, guys. I'm giving you guys the inside scoop. And saying, I need to show humanity as the disclosure goes to a peak, as Epstein is exposed, as all these celebrities are exposed, humanity is going to need something else to turn to realize their God potential. And so what God is doing, what Prime Creator is doing right now, is Prime Creator is working through people like Siman and myself and perhaps others on the planet who have aligned our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual body at a rate where our hearts are open, we are pure, we've gone through all kinds of initiations to show that we are in service, to show that we are in service to self, to show that we are pure-hearted, honest, authentic, all of that just normal stuff, which we consider normal in our lives, but they're huge in the universal trajectory. Right now, Prime Creator is saying, I am going to start doing miracles through you. Why? To show humanity what's possible. But also so that humanity can feel the power of my unconditional love pierce through the hardest glass illusions that they've built around themselves, that humans cannot reach, that shatter all the illusions, because Prime Creator, when he, she talks to us, guys, it'll rattle the fuck out of you. It's direct, it's unconditionally loving, but it's very fierce, and it'll call your shit. It will call your shit. It'll show you your attachments. It'll show you your blind sides. And it'll show you where you don't trust yourself to even allow Prime Creator to come in through you.
Yeah.
Now what?
Say that again. You don't trust yourself enough to even allow Prime Creator to operate through you. And this is the core teaching of this entire video. If we get this through, then we've done our job well.
For those of you who watched our Pope video, tell them what this means.
No, I want to teach them through an example.
Okay.
What it means for Prime Creator to work through you, first of all, Prime Creator does not need anything from you. For you to be able to be in a position of honor, for you to be able to even be considered to be in training as a Christed being, to be able to receive the miracles of Prime Creator, this puts you at the same level as Yeshua, yet it is Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, yet it is the potential that Yeshua and Mary Magdalene said exists within all of us. So what is that potential and how does it work? Does it continue to work like I will continue to go about life with my likes and dislikes and my preferences and my ego and my projections and my judgments, and then Prime Creator will also work through me and I'll be behaving suddenly like a Christed being? No, it cannot work that way. As long as you're operating through the lens of your ego and your personality, you cannot channel Prime Creator. And we had to go through several initiations of purification where we have to align our will with divine will, where we have to really ask our why. Are we running this business because of survival fear, because we need to pay our bills, or are we really doing every single thought, action, deed, and project with the core unconditional love of Prime Creator channeling through our heart to raise the consciousness of humanity? See, that is God level alchemy. When you're channeling the unconditional level of God, everything you touch will turn to gold.
Yes.
Okay, and that's the secret. We're teaching you alchemy here because many teachers have taught you how to go to like 70% of your mastery. But that last 30%, where does it come from? It doesn't come from the human brain. It comes from the miracles that God can only perform through you.
Yes.
And for God to perform miracles through you, you completely need to step aside.
And let me give you an example of what came up for me. when God, this is happening so actively in our life. So when Prime Creator showed me what the expectation, see, I'm using very strong words because I'm like, holy shit, this is a huge deal. Prime Creator is saying to me that I'm now at this phase of ascension where he's ready to start working through me and start working through Siman.
And when she says he, it's not a he or a she. It's a being that has no gender.
And it is a force so powerful. So what that being is saying is that I need to know that when I'm ready to come in and work through you, your insecurities won't come up. Your self-doubts won't come up. Your judgments won't come up. Your self-limitations of the mind won't come up.
Your comfort zone won't come up.
Okay, what they're also telling me is, so between Siman and me, let me tell you, there's something major happening right now with couples. They are targeting couples in these illusions of deception, and we'll go to that in a second, but let me see where this is going. Even in Siman and me, the guides, the Prime Creator said, another thing that you need to have is 100 million trillion% faith in each other, so that when Prime Creator decides to come in and channel. So let's say we are expecting that, oh, Prime Creator is going to do some major miracle through us and put on a public spectacle and make us look like heroes. And Prime Creator is saying, I'm going to come in and help you heal someone that nobody wants to touch, doesn't have any money to pay you. I'm just making this example up. Prime Creator's miracles are not what you want or your ego wants. So Prime Creator is saying, are you ready to step out of the way and just let me operate through you when I need to on demand? And for me, guys, what came up was authority. I didn't even know I have this block. I've been working with angels for 10 years. I was completely asleep. I've seen miracles. I love Metatron. I love Yeshua. But not one of them has ever said that they need to be able to work miracles through me. Not one of them has challenged my authority, my ego's limitation for authority. So for the last few days, I've been going through this deep thing. And Siman, because he's a walk-in, he knows these codes. So I said to Siman, of course, Prime Creator is not this dictator saying, you got to do this, you got to do that. So for me, the thing was, how do I just step aside and let someone just operate through me?
Yeah.
And now I've got it, but I want to give you the code.
The biggest teaching that we want to share is...
I love that you guys are loving it so much. I can feel you, Angelica, Raphael, all of you guys.
Yeah, this is a very deep teaching today, and this is for the advanced students who've already been walking their path of mastery. And if you get this ego teaching, you're just going to fly. Your lid's going to blow off and your spiritual powers will explode, because this is the code, this is the holy grail that all spiritual students seek, but yet very few masters have embodied that they can even teach it. You can only teach these codes once you embody them.
And Siman, before you share that, I want to also add that many people in the spiritual world have this unconscious, invisible fear. This invisible fear, like even though you're sitting in front of us, and I understand, I was there with Prime Creator just a few days ago, guys. This happened to me. I never thought it could happen to me. The age of Aquarius teachings have been very corrupted. So what the Cabal Deep State have done very cleverly is they've placed these fake spiritual teachers, I won't take their names, big deals, like they were all big in the past generation, sharing false teachings or limited teachings. And basically what's happening right now is that we have been brainwashed that we are our own guru. You know, there's this movement, I am my own guru. That teaching is tainted, because when each of us says, I'm my own guru, it means I don't want to learn from the yoga teacher. I don't want to learn from the piano teacher. If someone has mastered under, deep water scuba diving, I don't want to take them as a master. Or I can take all of them as teachers, but when it comes to spirituality, that's where I reach my limit. I'm never going to take a spiritual person as a higher authority or someone who's going to teach me. And we find that there is a level of ego harmonization that every single one of us goes through. I went through it. If you don't have someone you can trust, if you don't have someone that you know you can trust, maneuver that part, you can fall prey to your own deceptions. And when Prime Creator says, I want to come in and occupy you and work through you, EldoRa, are you ready? I was not a fuck yes. You might think, what? Easy. I would say, fuck yes. No. So now tell them, and then we'll go in, and then we'll go deeper into the teaching.
So let's differentiate. The whole irony of this teaching is that when we say Prime Creator is trying to work through you, we're actually saying your divine self is trying to come in and work through you. That's the whole point of this talk. Prime Creator, we make it look like some almighty being that is separate from you. You know what's actually not you and is the illusion? It's your ego that you've identified your false identity with. So here's the irony of this whole teaching. Most people are trying to identify so hard with their ego, so hard with their deception. So first of all, let's define what is this ego that gets in the way. The ego is this personality that we've all taken on from society. It's like your likes and your dislikes. You've been told you like strawberry jam, you don't like blueberry jam. You've been told that you're Christian and you're supposed to think Muslims are terrorists. You've been told that school gets you get good grades in school, you get a good job and you pay taxes, and that's the way to live. This has become your personality because every single belief that you've been taught by the matrix becomes a false identity, and all of these matrices of false identities click together like Lego blocks to create this huge jumbled piece of tangled wires that we call your ego. And these tangled wires are constantly misfiring, misleading, and pushing away everything that's good for you, pushing away the divine truth, and misleading you in the wrong directions, pushing away the teachers that are actually trying to get through to you only through the spirit of unconditional love and nothing more. So your ego will suddenly stand guard and say, hey, there's something here that's trying to change me. This is not safe, this is not safe. That's your ego. So first of all, we've come to this understanding of what is this thing that blocks you. Now let me tell you what is trying to come in. The universal truth that is trying to come in, that is the whole point of this spiritual evolution journey that we are all going through. The journey ends up with you separating the ego, you identifying this false identity that you've created over the last 20, 30, 40 years, and saying, oh my God, this is a big tangled ball of mess. This is not who I am. This is who other people have told me who I am. And now I need to carefully, you cannot take the ball and put it aside. This ball is so interweaved with you that it feels like a surgical operation where you have to remove one strand at a time. And each strand represents a belief that you have inherited and accepted. So once you go through this process, this arduous task of removing all of these false beliefs, once you remove all of this junk, all of this false prism matrix that's within yourself, once you remove that false prism, that false mirror of the ego, then all that shines through you is your pure divine essence. And that is actually who you are. Until you are channeling this pure divine light without any of your own interpretations, without any of your own misguided beliefs, without any of your own projections, avoidance, complacency, all of the excuses that we constantly make to keep ourselves in our comfort zone, if you don't make an effort to receive that divine light in its purest form, then you will continue to deceive yourself lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And that is what has caused the reincarnational trapping system where souls keep hitting a brick wall and never ascend. This brick wall is what we're here to break, you guys. This cycle of endless repeating cycles of lessons and ego and glass ceiling has gone on long enough, and it's time for humanity. We're just bumping against this wall. We're ready, we're on the threshold, and we're gonna crack this wall. We're gonna crack this dam,
Yes.
and we're gonna let the divine oneness flow through all of us until every single one of the 8 billion souls, our hearts crack open, and nothing is left but divine unity, love, and harmony. And we realize we're all here as ultimate channels of the divine. There is nothing higher that we can aspire to. There's nothing higher than this we can become. And through that, it's not you giving up your preferences. It's not you giving up your likes and dislikes to let some external entity do something that you don't want through you. That's far from it. What's actually happening is the higher version of you, the bigger divine version of you that can allow you to expand into the fullness of who you are, that being is knocking on your door right now and is saying, may I come in? Are you ready to receive me? And the more we put it off, the more we stay in our excuses and our comfort zone, the more we're putting ourselves in a corner, and the more we're locking ourselves into endless cycles of lessons. And that's not what the purpose of your soul is. Your soul came here to thrive. Your soul didn't come here for just an average life where you are like everybody else and nothing changes. Your soul came here to do great things. And in order to do those great things, you have to step out of your way. You have, Prime Creator doesn't knock on people's doors when they're just complacent. Prime Creator is looking for those who are thirsty for divine knowledge and truth.
So true. It's not like Prime Creators just...
You have to want it.
Oh my God.
Otherwise, it ain't happening.
And that's the frequency that comes through. You know how he said, you got to want it. If not, it ain't happening. That's the frequency of Prime Creator. It's not like this...
And that was God channeling. This is not me channeling. That was God's unconditional channeling.
We felt it.
Reaching through your souls. So
We
this is what
felt
we're
it.
being prepared for.
And do you guys feel when that vibration comes in, what happens in your field? Do you guys feel that vibration? It can shatter you, which is why preparing for it is your very curriculum. And so, so now let's get into some of the deceptions we were shown. What's happening is that when Prime Creator is trying to come in, there are certain deceptions. So right now, many of you are soul contracted to receive your mastery teachings. Okay, many of you are soul contracted to get to the next level of wherever you might be right now. You've tried everything, you know you've cracked many codes, but you've not yet got on that path of self-mastery where you can love and respect yourself enough. You should be loving and respecting yourself enough wherever you are right now. But deep inside, you just know, I have this void, I haven't yet cracked it. There are still some demons, some shadows that still control me. You know that you've not figured it all out yet. You still are not at a point where all inner and outer turmoil have ceased.
And that means if you still have drama in your life, then that's a sure shot indicator that there's more soul curriculum ahead of you. People who have figured out people who have balanced out their lives and they're in a very expansive state and they're manifesting their dreams with ease and they don't have drama, they just have people who love them, they're able to attract abundance with no effort. That's where you want to be. And even if you've come to a point where you are successful in your business, you're a master manifester, but there's this one part of your heart that feels like a cold storage room where you never want to visit. You just feel sad or depressed and you haven't addressed those shadows and those cobwebs. That's called trauma. So all of these imbalances are nothing that you judge within yourself, but more like these are indicators that there's work to do. So what we're asking you to do today is take a good, hard, honest look and be honest with yourself, with your soul for the first time in your life and say, which aspects of my life are not feeling delicious? And that's where I need to shed my light on.
I love that. I love that. And I'm loving your comments. And I love how TikTok is also like, this is the first time we're doing live on TikTok and it's on fire. Thank you guys for sharing your energy. We're going to do more of this. So comment in the chat as we're saying it. Okay, so we're going to go into 7 deceptions and we're going to see if any of you are under these deceptions. These very deceptions are coming in your way right now and preventing you. Literally, what do I mean by this? When we speak to some of our students, we feel like there's a thick glass wall between some of the best students we have and us, where we're saying like, hello, dear angel, and they're just hearing. You see what I mean? It's not piercing through the glass. So before we even start, let's set the intention with our higher self, all of us collectively, that we recall all lost aspects of our soul that we've left behind in the busyness of our life. And we recall all parts of me to come back to myself right here, right now. I recall all parts of me back to myself right here and right now. And one last time, affirming, saying the command, I recall all parts of me stuck in different dimensions, stuck in different workplaces, stuck in different thoughts, stuck in other people's minds, to come back to me right here, right now. And so I may go through the remainder of this transmission as a complete being, a complete ball of energy, fully present and fully open and fully in my heart for this divine transmission. And so it is.
And so it is.
So the first deception is the deception of co-dependency and not following your soul's most inner calling, your soul's deepest calling, and accepting instead your partner's preferences or your family's preferences over your own because of many reasons. It could be that they're not interested in the things you do, they do not believe in the things you do, and letting their voice dictate your path. So the dependency of not following your soul's most authentic inner calling because you're letting your partner overpower you because of whatever reason. Now let's dive into that. Many of our course students are telling us that, oh my God, we're reaching this climax point with our partners. We're in love with them, but we're jumping very fast because we're in your vortex. Our vortex is very fast. We move fast because we attract people who are ready to move rock and roll.
And they're serious.
And they're serious on their path, and they like to have fun, and they don't take life so seriously. They're high vibration.
Serious but not serious.
Like us, we're serious but not serious. So what's happening is that they are reaching this point where they know their soul is calling them to a higher calling. Their soul is saying, hey, you're ready to jump. But their voice is, my partner doesn't agree. My partner doesn't believe in this. My partner thinks I'm woo-woo. He doesn't believe in spirituality. He thinks Trump is a horrible guy and he doesn't believe what I'm seeing is true. He doesn't even believe I can hear my guidance. This is happening right now, and many of you who are pre-soul contracted to be a part of the first wave of ascension, who are being sent cues by your higher self. Do this, do that. This is good for you. That is good for you. Stay away from this. You're not allowing these messages to come to you because you're too stuck in being a good mother, a good wife, a good husband. I need to go everywhere with my children. My children can't manage without me. Of course they can. You're a soul, like you're an individual beyond just what you are in your partnership. So this deception of codependency is coming up big time.
Yeah. And I wanted to add to that, what if your soul was actually meant to lead hundreds or thousands of people in this lifetime? Okay? What if your soul was actually meant to create your own vortex, express your own truth, and start leading people through the journey of evolution that you're going through, but instead you chose complacency? Because many people come to us saying, I want my soul's mission, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But many people come with this question, I don't know what my soul's mission is, yet when we take a 360-degree account of their life, they haven't really worked on any aspect of their life that they should receive their soul's mission. They're just sitting in complacency, either with their body's health or with their relationships or with their careers, but they're not getting out of their comfort zone. And then they ask, how am I going to align with my soul's mission? Well, your soul's mission may be to lead hundreds of people through the ascension, but because you're sitting on the sidelines in your comfort zone, because you're not willing, and I'm saying this with unconditional love, because you're not willing to get out of your comfort zone and grab life by the horns and go after that dream that your soul has always wanted to chase, because you're not willing to take that risk, those hundreds of thousands of souls that were meant to be led by you are also left hanging. You know what I mean? Like, many souls come here with a soul contract to create huge timelines, and then they're never discovered. So it's really on you. God will never come to your doorstep and say, hey, what about your soul mission? God's not interested in people who are in their complacency. God only knocks on your door when you have trained like a ninja for a decade. I'm not even going to put a time limit on it. It could be you need to prepare for 3 months and God comes knocking on your door. But the one thing I will assure you is God and the angels and spirit only knocks on your door when you are thirsty, when you want it bad, when you're hungry, when you want to hustle, when you want to make changes. And we schedule our television time every day. We schedule where we want to meet our friends for a restaurant. We schedule where to go for a beer with the friends, but we don't schedule personal self-development, because aligning with God is the same as you achieving the highest level of mastery in yourself through discipline. So aligning with God is not you giving anything up. The most you'll give up is your bad habits, and you'll become a master. So it's a win-win partnership, because when you set the intention to align with the God within, then you're already setting yourself for success in all aspects of your life, my friend. You will unlock your dream relationship. You will unlock opportunities you cannot even comprehend. You will unlock your abundance codes. You will unlock your finances, because the very curriculum of meeting with God involves you being masterful in all aspects of your life. So when you work on those physical reality things that you came here to master, and when you have done enough of that clearing, that you give up your ego resistance and just show up for yourself, then God comes knocking on your door for your graduation. And that's when things get interesting.
And that's what we're walking right into on planet Earth, you guys. That is what we're walking right into. And you know, we're in very good times. When Yeshua came and Jesus walked the planet, the world saw a male Messiah do miracles of God. And then the world also saw him get crucified, but we believe Jesus ascended into a spaceship. He was not punished and tortured like, you know, the scriptures have us believe. But we have come back in a very different time. We have come to anchor Christ consciousness. And this time what we're being shown is that the women are going to rise very fast.
This is the feminine rising. This time the Christ consciousness is being expressed through the divine feminine.
And they're also showing us that the women are going to rise. We're going to become the Christ. And that is going to, what we're being shown directly by Prime Creator, is that that's going to balance the equation of the men right now not having accessed their own divine masculinity. Why? Because the women have not yet accessed their own divine femininity. Once the divine feminine truly rises, a lot of people think they've risen, but they've not. Most people are in illusions, and we're going to go into some more illusions. Until the divine feminine purely rises in her Sophia, Magdalene, Christed essence, just like, you know, Yeshua we know, but now we're going into the Christed female essence. That's going to create some kind of an alchemy where the men rise, and that is going to start your timeline where you both start, you're the men and the woman, start rising through this Jacob's ladder of ascension, which Siman and I are on. We're on that path. And many of you who are single listening might be like, what about me? And what the guides are saying is that this path of ascension that Siman and I are talking about may be different from the path of ascension you're on, but the teachings are the same. In our case, we just use each other to go up very, very, very fast. That might not be your code. Now, there's another teaching that's coming in regarding the same deception, the deception of codependency. But remember, I said it's the deception of codependency of also letting other people's voices in your head. Recently, one of our students shared with us, he said, you know, that time I sent you an email saying I want my refund back for my Healers Academy. He paid full payment upfront for Healers Academy, the quantum healing certification we're doing. He's come to our past events. He's come to 2 of our events. He knows our frequency. He's part of the New Earth Mystery School. He's our core student. This is what I mean. The core students can start falling off if you're not aware. You can fall off. You're not above your ego. This is the shock that we got, that all your core students can fall off. And then EldoRa and Siman, there's a gaping hole because the first waivers have not been prepared. And our very mission is to prepare the first waivers. So they're saying now your teachings have to speak to the specific people who are ready to jump, not the people who are like doubting or like questioning.
From the sidelines.
Where now our videos have gotten to the serious Ascension students. So what they said was, so this guy came clean. He actually, in the last Healers Academy on Saturday, he came and he said, EldoRa and Siman, I want to get something off my chest. I just want you to know that I've been with you for 3 years, and something happened a few months ago when somebody's voice affected me, and they put a seed of doubt in my mind that you guys are not the real deal, you're not the teachers you say you are, I shouldn't do this quantum healing modality because you teach about entities and we shouldn't be doing entities. In fact, that's what we need the most. Like, this person even tried to dissuade me, this other person, saying, hey, don't teach about entities, don't teach about implants because you'll attract more of that, and we didn't resonate with that direct message to us. So this person tried to go behind and say to him, you should now come out of Healers Academy. So what this person did was something in him shifted his frequency, and he got a seed of doubt. He got a seed of doubt, and he wrote to us saying, I want to back off, I can't do it. And we said, okay, it's non-refundable. Luckily, he had paid up front, so he's like, shit, I'm just going to go do it. And now that he's doing it, he's in utter reverence. And now this is where it gets really tricky. He said to us, and oh, by the way, I looked at whether there's a cord going from this girl who was trying to tell me that not to do this course, it's not good for me. And I saw there's a pink cord. It's not a toxic cord, like a black cord, but it's a pink cord. Guys, this is where you guys are gullible. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. You know why you saw a pink cord and not a toxic cord? And we've been shown this so clearly. You tune in if this resonates for you. And everybody watching needs to understand and comprehend this. It's because you have a limited perception. You have a weakness in your energetic field that requires friendships, that likes to be friends with healers and people in high places. And so when someone tries to influence you from going away from your divine path and canceling something as big as Metatronic Healers Academy, instead of that firing off codes of danger, 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 stay the fuck away from this person, you're justifying it saying, oh, it was a pink cord, and in fact, this person is a dear friend of mine right now. What a deep teaching. This is showing you that you're allowing, in your own way, other people's thoughts to manipulate you, control you, and influence you. And if you're not careful, you can fall off and then repeat the same freaking cycles for the next 7 to 10 years or many lifetimes, instead of making it to the first wave of the ascension. So this person said, holy shit, thank God I figured it out. I have nothing against this person. She's a great friend of mine now, but I realized that that was her thought, that wasn't my thought, and I'm glad I didn't fall off Metatronic Healers Academy, because that would have been a major shame to myself.
Yeah, so let's decode this. Why does the ego try to deceive you whenever your soul is making a jump into a container? Like in this example, this guy was joining our Healers Academy, which is one of the highest frequency containers that we have ever taught. This is where we teach our quantum healing techniques that can raise your vibration instantly and help you skyrocket through your ascension, because you learn how to decode your own traumas, and it puts you on an accelerated journey of self-healing. And this is actually how these techniques are actually how we ascended. We're ascending. So why does the ego dissuade you from the path? So the key code we wanted to share is that the ego fears annihilation. Okay? So first of all, the ego is not you, it's this false personality that you've made. And this false personality, because it doesn't have its own life source, its only way of existing is, think of it like an AI that lives inside you that tries to override your own divine reasoning. So this AI, which I'll call the ego AI, tries to it has its own intelligence. That's why I'm calling it an artificial intelligence. It has its own it's artificial, it's not divine, it's not organic. It was created through society and other beliefs. So it's artificial and it's intelligent, because it can outmaneuver you if you are not intelligent enough to identify the ego. So the ego fears annihilation. This artificial ego can be destroyed if you simply shed the light of divine awareness on it. Okay?
Pause.
This
That's so
artificial
powerful.
ego that lives within all of us, how do we melt it?
Yes.
There's only one key to melt it. You don't fight against it. You don't push against it. You don't try to suppress it. You don't try to overpower it and say, I'm the one in charge and how dare you bring me these doubts. No. When you make it an enemy, it becomes a bigger enemy. So that's not the way. The only way to dissuade your ego and integrate and harmonize it within yourself, and this is coming from people who've done it, is by shedding the love, shedding the unconditional love of divine awareness onto the ego and saying, you know what? I know you feel that you must protect me from joining Healers Academy. I know you feel that this may be too overwhelming for me to become aware of my own mastery and to unlock these powers. I know that you're trying to protect me by staying in my comfort zone because that's the only thing you were ever designed to do. But you know what? I'm good. Thank you, my friend. I got it from here, and I now have the light of my own divine awareness guiding me, and I no longer need this voice of doubt. So take this one code. Whenever your inner voice is taking you away from the path of your highest mastery, can you do that? Whenever your inner voice is taking you away from the path of your highest mastery, just know that it is your ego trying to dissuade you from your divine mission. Whenever there's an inner voice of doubt that is pushing you away from something that will help you expand your consciousness, just know that this is your ego dissuading you from your path, and the ego is designed to do this.
For those of you on TikTok, we're so sorry. In about 4 minutes, Siman, I don't know how to do it. I don't have my glasses. In 4 minutes, this is going to end. But to catch up with the rest of the live, just go on our YouTube channel, EldoRa and Siman, or on our Facebook channel, EldoRa and Siman. You'll find the whole video there. We're so sorry. Your TikTok only allows one. There's 4 minutes left, though. But you might as well end it. Okay, amazing. So now the second deception, we have a few deceptions to go through. One of the other deceptions, and this is happening, and I'm seeing this all over the place, many of you will relate to it. It's the deception of, I found my peace, I'm good. Many people are feeling like they've found their peace in life, and so they're good. They're like, oh my God, we found the highest frequency that everybody's after. We found our peace. And you know what? My trainer told me this yesterday. My friend Carolina told me that the other day. And I challenged them and I said, what if you're thinking you found your peace? Let's wait for Siman to settle down.
Sorry. Just trying to get TikTok back.
What if, so I said to them, what if your ego is literally in disguise right now, trying to show you that, I found my peace, where in fact your soul is not after peace. Your soul wants to fucking stand in its power and shine its light and take the, communication by its horns, take your business by its horns, expand your abundance, expand your reach, stand in front of a crowd and address the crowd and do things like go on vacations and go on trips and join Healers Academy and activate
And
your
get out of
healers
your
and
comfort
get
zone.
out of your comfort zone and do whatever.
Do things you've never done before.
What if you're living under the illusion that you have found peace and this is your ego's biggest deception? So I'm going to leave that with you to think of it for a while. And what the guide said about this is eventually, and I want you to absorb this, eventually, because I am a person who lives by these examples, guys. Siman and I, we're students of the ego. We've gone through all these ego lessons. We've been slapped by the ego. We've been, literally, we've gone on the wrong path because of our ego. And we've now gotten all the lessons where we are in a position where we can teach you. Because if there's anyone on earth that I trust that can navigate this with the laser focus that it is, it's like how we constantly navigate ourselves. We're guiding ourselves and some people from our team to avoid the biggest pitfalls of the ego. Like literally the ego will think, you'll think you're following your higher self, but it'll be your ego. And I'll give you a few more examples to really solidify the teaching.
And it's a bit tricky because if you follow the ego, your life will be apparently fine. Nothing will be off, but you won't know the timelines you've just missed. You won't even be aware of them.
Yes, I love that. And so what they said was eventually stagnation turns into disease. And this is what I was faced with. I started developing disease in my body a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, because I was stagnating in my spiritual path. I refused to learn from teachers because I was like, I don't like any teachers. You guys, hopefully you resonate with us. I didn't resonate with any teachers. I found teachers very boring, not fast enough to give me the codes I need. And so I was like,
Not even deep enough.
Not deep enough, and not only that, they didn't have the level of unconditional love I demand from my teachers. So I was like, I can't respect them, I can't learn from them. So all my teaching came from the angels, but the guide said, that's fine, don't let that become your block. If we send you a teacher, be open to that teacher. We can send you a yoga teacher. We can send you a trainer. Be open. So now
Even
when
if there's a teacher you can learn 10% from, still respect them like a teacher.
Yes.
Don't block yourself with your superiority.
Which leads us to our third deception. The deception of insecurity marked with overconfidence. Just absorb that for a moment. The deception of your insecurities disguised by your overconfidence. We see this all the time in people. We don't even have to go into it. There's many areas this can come in. If you're constantly looking at someone with the lens of doubt, like, I need to watch everything they're saying and make sure that they're, true and they're honest and they're authentic. What's happening is you're doubting the other person. You're doubting your relationship. You're doubting your friends. You're doubting your spiritual teachers because you doubt yourself. So instead of looking out and always trying to be the egoic watchdog of others, put that watchdog's attention on you. That's how you crack the code of insecurity.
Jesus gave this teaching very beautifully. He said, you look at the splinter in your brother's eye, but you completely ignore the log within your own eye. You see, the splinter within the other's eye is the judgment and the projection where we always say, you're not divine and you're behaving this way and whatever. We look at everyone through the projection of our own judgments, and we fail to look at the fact that life is a mirror. So if life is a mirror, what is life trying to teach you? This is also another very big ego code, a very big ego teaching. Whenever you're judging someone for being less than you or not being divine enough for you or not being spiritual enough, whenever you're judging anyone, no matter how unlikely it seems, you're always judging something about yourself. You're always judging, for example, if you say this person has a spiritual ego, you will be shocked when I tell you, well, you have a spiritual ego. That's the only reason out of 100 million frequencies you narrow down on spiritual ego to identify in that one person, because the only things that are ever going to bug you are what you fail to see in yourself. So use this as a formula and stop projecting on others and realize this whole universal mirror is here to help you evolve. Only look at what you're trying to ignore within yourself. Call out your own bullshit.
I love that. Another code of insecurity could be if you're insecure about something about yourself. You're insecure, but you're not going to say it because obviously on earth we don't talk about our insecurities, God forbid. We do. Siman and I, with our team, we are so open. We're students of the Ascension. We don't shame our insecurities. We don't shame that at all. In fact, recently we told someone who works with us, hey, you're constantly looking for relationships. You're constantly looking for relationships because you want relationships to fill the void that you are not feeding yourself. So your insecurity, your lack of self-love, your insecurity that you're not good enough is trying to be disguised to ask for people of the other sex to come into your life as a relationship and give you that sense of adrenaline, like you're sexy, you're hot, ooh, I love, all those things. And this can take you off on a different timeline. Your insecurity about your body or how it looks, your insecurity about how spiritual you are or not. Like, oh my God, I've been acting like I'm spiritual. I've been acting like I'm in my heart, but I know deep inside that I'm not in my heart. I'm always thinking. So let's say I'm talking to you. What do you do about it? The code of insecurity is that it is in your control to either feel really bad about it and then judge other people and get triggered by other people who have cracked that code, who've got the perfect body, or who've cracked their heart open. Like, instead of being jealous or feeling like a loser or feeling insecure, what can you do? Simple. The formula is you take positive steps to bridge the gap between your insecurity and that thing that you desire. For example, if you're feeling insecure that you're not catching up to spirituality, you're not catching up, one of your partner is flying and suddenly you're stagnating, all of a sudden you're taking care of the kids and you're like, fuck, what just happened? You are being asked to jump. Whatever that jump is for you, you may decide to go and do a past life regression course. You may decide to come to House of Ra. You may decide to go do Healers Academy. You may decide to go off on a solo yoga retreat. Your higher self is guiding it, not you. And the guides are saying, remember not to think about what you want based on your comfort zone. Like, my comfort zone is to go to a spa retreat. What if your higher self is saying, hey, a spa retreat is not what you need. You need to go and do something else. Go do that. You need a juice retreat. You need an ascension retreat. You need to activate your DNA. Whatever that is for you, where are you holding yourself back because of insecurity, that if I go there, shit, everybody's going to see my insecurities. Everybody's going to see I can't speak good English. Everyone's going to see I'm not yet in my heart. What if I told you that's the very reason people come to events, to open their hearts, to heal their insecurities, because we're a mystery school. So, Ra is coming again. Amazing. I love this time because we get to share the sun codes with you.
And what EldoRa said, that's why in our events we create the most judgment-free, loving space possible, where you'll just be allowed to be yourself. And we find that it takes a lot of mastery to hold space where people can just show up with their imperfections. And this is one of the reasons that EldoRa and I display all of our own lessons that we had to go through so that we can be examples for you guys, because we're just as imperfect as everybody else, but we're striving towards that self-perfection, and that's a very beautiful thing to strive towards.
Yes.
So allow yourself to be safe to express your vulnerabilities and your imperfections, because we're all imperfect.
Yes. Take that off.
Perfection is just the
if
mask,
you're thinking
guys.
that my body is deformed, I have to be like this, or my spirituality is less than that person because I have to be this. How about right now you take that burden off? Just right now, take it off and say, I'm perfect just the way I am. All I have to be is a student of the Ascension. Can you agree you can be that? All I have to be is a student. I have to stop acting like I'm a master to hide my insecurity. I have to stop acting like this big shot to hide my insecurity. Instead, I just return to innocence and humility and become a student. Easy. Then you jump.
The best students are the ones who admit that they know nothing and they're just students and they learn from even strangers they've just met, because every single person you're going to come across in life is somehow going to be a teacher if you allow them to be. And this was one of my secrets. I early in my life, like in my 20s when I went on my spiritual path, I used to treat every single encounter in my life with so much respect that I got codes from every single person in my life, and that allowed me to jump and evolve very fast.
Okay, we have 12 minutes before our doorbell rings because I've booked us a massage, which I'm getting a Thai massage today, like a stretching massage. He's getting a deep tissue. So we have 10 minutes, but we're going to give you a few more quick ones. The deception, we have quite a few, but we'll see what we can cover. The deception of expectation. This came up in Healers Academy just a few days ago. One of our core students, who actually the entities were trying to really prevent her from even coming to our vortex. And she went and saw a psychic, a very, very high-level seer. And she said, I don't like EldoRa and Siman. Something about them is not sitting right with me. So I'm not going to go into their vortex. And she said, go and do EldoRa and Siman's entity and implant removal healing, because it's these entities that are blocking you from going into their vortex. She did that entity and implant removal healing that we offer in our mystery school. And guys, right now she's one of our core students. And this is the deception of expectation came up for her last Saturday. She was sharing with us, we're all like a nice family at Healers Academy. We have a very nice group. It feels like a family. Everyone feels really safe. So she came on camera and she's like, guys, I'm loving this container. I'm just loving how activated I'm feeling. I love how finally in my life I feel my head has stepped out and I've activated my heart. And she's like, I'm coming to House of Ra. And that's it. No more waiting 3 years for the wave. She was talking with a lot of love and inner child. She's like, 3 years, I'm not waiting for the wave. Guys, let's compress time. This House of Ra is it. We're ascending. We're moving through the first wave, blah, blah, blah. She was excited. And instantly, you know what the guide said? Don't let the deception of expectation put you on the wrong trajectory, where you come to House of Ra and you see magic because you're transforming at the speed of light, your DNA is activating, you're suddenly in a different dimension that you've never experienced on the planet. You're feeling angels and ascended masters, and now your expectation is, I should have ascended because that's what I went for. So you see your expectation of what something should be, like in Glastonbury this happened. There were 3 or 4 people who came, and instead of seeing the magic of the power of the event, they thought they would see a spaceship, like physically. And even though there were spaceships dealing with us and working with us, they didn't show themselves. They never said they would. But these guys were like, oh, we didn't see a spaceship. I wonder if any of that was real. Because their expectations mess them up. And why? Ego loves to be in expectation to constantly keep you away from the present. Expecting something means you don't already have it. Do you understand? Okay, let's go to a couple more. The deception of staying in your comfort zone because of your fear of being seen. I'm just going to leave that with you. The deception of staying in your comfort zone because of your fear of being seen. There was a student of ours who said in Metatronic Healers Academy, he had a powerful breakthrough. He said, you know, I go to the gym all the time and then I eat cake. And we were in the breakout room and they were giving each other the healing, and his partner wasn't sure how to deal with him. So we helped her. We said, okay, coax him more, saying, why are you eating cake? And after 5 minutes of talking and using quantum tools, and then we healed it, we plucked it out with quantum healing, his core belief was, I don't want to be seen. I've been bullied in class or whatever. I don't want to be seen. I feel shy of my accent. I don't want to be seen. And that fear of being seen was causing him to eat cake after going to the gym as a protective mechanism. And many of you are doing this. It's
called self-sabotage, so you can stay in your comfort zone and not be seen by others.
I'm going to give you one last one. Siman, you go for this. Point number 6. This is a big one, and then we'll call it a day.
Yeah, so the deception of thinking you know it all even before we've begun.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of people who let this ego deception run over them, and they block themselves from growth. They block themselves from higher timelines and their own spiritual evolution because they've been taught that there's no guru other than yours. No one needs to be your guru in the first place.
Maybe it's not even that. It's real. Like, our students are behaving like this.
Yeah, many of our students
Tell them
even
what
come
happened
to our vortex.
in the last Healers Academy.
Many of our students come to our own vortex and they think that because they've completed a few courses, they've done some advanced breath work, they've activated some spiritual abilities, suddenly they get their psychic
Or they've done Healers Academy.
They get their psychic senses activated, and it starts giving them this boost of confidence.
Oh my God.
But then the ego has not been harmonized yet, so the ego becomes the spiritual powers. You know what I mean? Wow, the light
It's
over
so beautiful, guys. I wish I could take credit for it. Oh my God. So allow the sun codes to come through you. So this thing that he just talked about is very potent. In the last Healers Academy class, we were looking at our students, the brightest lights. They have gone through so much hardship in their life that all of a sudden they're now saying, I'm going to sit a bit closer. So all of a sudden now they're saying, oh my God, we feel so empowered. And the guides are saying, do you even realize that now they've just felt empowered for the first time, and now their whole ego training is going to start. God can't just channel through you because you've done a level 1 certification. Your God's now going to say, okay, now let's see how much you're actually in unconditional love.
how much you're here to actually serve rather than show off your skills.
And let's see how much ego you're going to get just because you think you're this big shot healer. Because if you do, your powers can't even come in because it's God coming in through you.
When you become powerful, you guys, you have to double your watch over your ego, because that's when the ego starts playing tricks on you.
And many healers do this. You know, healers, they act like, oh my God, we've got it covered.
Healer's ego is the most
worst.
deadliest.
Like, we're healers, we channel, whatever, we're doing miracles, we're healers. And now their ego becomes their biggest self-sabotage because they can't move past their own ego. Like, we know it all, we're healers. So I hope this helped. This was packed with a lot of stuff. There's a few others, but I think...
Yeah, let's wrap it up
I think
now,
we're going to...
I think. And somebody was asking, how do we join your Vortex? We have our mystery school where we take deep dives into these topics and a lot more. We help people from the A to Z learn the curriculum of your ascension path, of your spiritual evolution. And we teach people how to really get out of your comfort zone and manifest your dreams with power by activating your own inner mastery. So our mystery school is called the New Earth Mystery School, and you can go to www.nems.love, which is an abbreviation for New Earth Mystery School, NEMS.love, and there you'll learn how to subscribe for our monthly membership. And we have 1 month monthly event where beautiful groups of souls from all over the world join, and we really expand our knowledge. We always take away homework, and our mystery school is all about taking action and making positive changes in your life. And our students are like flying right now. And even though we're flying, we just want to make sure that there's no glass ceiling that they hit because they're flying. So we're going to go all the way, you guys, and we invite anyone who's dedicated to their path of evolution and mastery to join us.
And this is the last reminder that House of Ra tickets are going to go up soon. House of Ra Ascension Festival is just around the corner, a month away, April 9th to 14th. This is the highest, we're super excited. It's very funny, when we were having that visitation with God, we were just talking, no, this was another time. I was thinking, what do I wear? What do I wear? And Siman channeled in his channeling voice. When we have channeling come through, our voice changes. Remember when I said, what do I wear? 2 days ago, I was lying down here and Siman said, wear something knowing that the angels and the seraphim are your guests of honor. And it was like, you know what that download meant for me? When you're creating an event that is calling down the angelic realm, that is calling down the throne of God, as your guests of honor to help us and co-create with us and channel these divine frequencies through us and help all of us activate, now you know the frequency of your event, dress according to that intention. Like you're going with the angels as your guest of honor. And that just, in 1 second, it just gave me this transmission of what House of Ra is, you guys. We're literally co-creating with the angels, and I'm so excited to see so many of you.
If you are galactic royalty on Earth, then House of Ra is for you.
And go to houseofra.com. So tickets are going up March 9th. Many of you are meant to be there. You're soul contracted to be there. If you don't make it this year, we're going to have one next year, or most likely next year. Many of you are soul contracted to make this first wave, to make this jump. And if that is for you, we cannot wait to see you at House of Ra.
The curriculum is just beginning. It's not over yet.
Curriculum is juicy as fuck. Yeah. Anyway, we love you. Thank you so much.
And it's houseofra.com. Somebody was asking the website. It's www.houseofra.com.
It's going to be an event of a lifetime. Love you guys so much. So nice to see you all. Bye, everybody.